quite often we'll make good use of the drop-down lists that Microsoft Excel enables us to do. You'll probably agree that these ways of categorizing our data can save us a lot of time, while at the same time encourage consistency and enables us to organize our data in an orderly manner. So we might wonder, does Microsoft Project have a similar functionality? Well, the good news is it does, and it can be done rather easily through the use of lookup custom fields. So in this video, we're going to go through a quick work through example of how to insert and establish a lookup custom field, and then we'll look at some of the benefits together that can help you in your project management and data management work. So let's take a look. So at this point in your project, you hopefully have organized all of your tasks, you've assigned resources to your tasks, and you're well underway in progressing your project. So just looking at our resource names, for example, if you wanted to filter to a single resource, you can simply do this. But as you can see, that there are some resources here that have multiple resources. And you might wonder, well, why can't we have one primary resource, say a resource that has overall responsibility for the actual task? Can we do this? Well, you can do this through lookup custom fields. So let's take a look at this. So we'll wipe out this filter, and to get us started, I'd encourage you to go to the Project tab on your worksheet, and you'll notice here custom fields. Another alternative way to access this is by right-clicking on your column, and you can also access custom fields there as well. And when you do this, you'll be presented with a number of custom field options. Now, for this particular example, we want to nominate a responsible resource for the task, the person who has overall accountability for the particular task in a bunch of resource personnel. So we're going to look at utilizing one of these text fields here. Now, you do have numerous text fields that you can use throughout your project, up to 30, but we're going to go and rename this responsible. Notice that responsible there is shown as the name, but in brackets it highlights that we've used the text1 custom field in order to do this. Now, to get our lookup list, you click lookup under custom attributes and click the lookup button, and here we can populate our list. I'll go ahead and do this. Once you've populated your list, you simply go close, and there's no need for you in this particular example to carry out any calculations or graphical indicators. We want a data shown on the lookup field. So in this situation, we'd simply click OK. Now, if we want to display our responsible staff for this job, you go and select the field that you've just created. So you recall that we called it responsible, so simply tapping on the first letters, it'll snap to the area that we want, and you can see responsible text1 is shown. And as promised, provide a drop-down menu, and we can simply snap and select the staff that we want assigned as the responsible staff for this particular job. So in this example here, you can see John is the main actor here. He's the one that's overwhelmingly involved, so it would make sense perhaps in this particular example to put John as the responsible staff there, including the summary task and also the milestone. So I'm going to go ahead now and populate all of these, and then we'll look at how we can present this data in a meaningful manner. So we've gone through and assigned our responsible staff for the various components of our project. Now you might wonder, what are some advantages in doing this? Well, I'll show you one quick advantage here. For example, if you wanted to highlight particular elements and data out of your project to share with a wider audience, perhaps through Microsoft Word or Excel, you could go ahead and put the task's name, duration, and resource names, and then if you were to copy it to Microsoft Excel, you'd end up with something like this, Sure, you get all the information here, but you do get a whole lot of mess in the resource names here. This may turn off your audience, might contain a whole lot of information that your audience may not be interested in. So by using and getting back to our custom fields, we can have the option to show information that may be more relevant to the audience. So we'll replace this with, instead of resource names, with responsible. And if we were to copy this into Microsoft Excel, we might copy over the top of what we've already got shown here. Well, straight away, you can see that this is a lot more neater and orderly. Gone are all the extra details regarding the actual and detailed resource use. You've got the responsible person, the amount of work, and the necessary information shown. So you might find that useful. Another useful element is the fact that you can filter quite easily to the responsible person in the job to share information quicker. You can simply go to your drop-down menu, you can filter. So say for instance we're interested in all of Joanne's responsible tasks, and there you see it. You can see Joanne, everything that she has responsible for in her project. So that's another very quick and easy way to convey information. What if Joanne has a threshold with regards to the amount of budget or spending that she's allowed to undertake in a single project? Often in large organisations there are thresholds or delegation limits to how much money can be spent by a particular individual. Well, once again, this is where the responsible function can come into play by, once again, filtering down to your staff that you want. So once again, it's going back to Joanne. We can look at all the responsibility that she has, and then if we were interested in costs, we could simply snap to the cost column, and we could see all of the costs there that are associated with this responsible staff. Now, a good way to quickly tally this up would be to go to Gantt chart format, remove the summary tasks, and just go down to the raw tasks that are shown in on the plan. And you could simply, for example, copy all of this. So we see all the tasks there that Joanne is responsible for and the respective costs. You could copy that quickly into an Excel spreadsheet. So we might do a new tab here. Paste that in like so. We'll hide the resource names because that doesn't concern us for the time being. And we'll look at the total amount that we have here. So we can go straight away to our auto sum and sum that up. All of a sudden we can see that Joanne has responsibility for $13,526 in this project. So once again, a very, very good and quick way in which we can utilize our custom fields. We're only hitting the iceberg with this. So there's numerous ways in which you can use this flexibility that Microsoft Project enables in your project work. Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe and please feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback.